Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another episode of CardBlitz. I'm Kelly, and I'm joined by my good buddy out east, Patrick. Patrick, how's it going, man?
How's it going, man? How you guys doing?
Good, good, good. Well, today's a special day. You're probably asking
Yes.
yourself why, right?
Yeah. Why, Kelly? Why would it be a special day? Why is this a special weekend coming up?
Well, that's coming up, but today's a special day because it's the birthday for none other than Captain America himself.
Um,
Look at that.
Mr. Cowboy Legend himself.
Yes, 1972 Topps rookie card. This is Roger
Wow,
Staubach himself.
Kelly, that's impressive. I love it. That's
Dude,
awesome.
traded for this card a couple of decades ago and got it slabbed about a year ago. Yeah, it's part of my collection. And yeah, it's Roger the Dodger. So my goal is to get this as an SGC 7. I'd like to
Ooh,
go on a player run, all
nice.
Staubach 7s. But, I'm happy with the two. It's from my own collection, traded for it. And so it's in
Well,
my possession, man.
well, Kelly, let's ask you about that. So, when you say an SGC run, I mean, what do you mean by that?
I want to collect all of his playing day cards and have them slabbed by SGC 7 or higher.
Okay, seven minimums for all
Yeah,
his cards. Okay, cool.
yeah. And so that rookie card, 1972 Topps football. It's card number 200. It's gonna be a pretty penny for an SGC 7.
Yeah, that 72 top set, from what I've learned from you and what I've looked in the collecting community, I mean that is a great set.
It
That's
is.
awesome.
Yeah, if you're a card collector and you're a hobbyist and a fan of football, it's a must-have set. It's difficult to put together, but again, celebrating Roger the Dodger, Roger Staubach, Captain America, Captain Comeback. Dude turns 83 years old today.
Wow, that's impressive. Today, wow,
Yes,
that's
sir.
good.
Today's his birthday. So,
Uh,
um, I was going through my cards, and speaking of this weekend, I found two that might interest you. So let
okay,
me let me, let me grab
yeah,
one. Here
I'm
you
always
go.
interested. Kelly, I'm always interested. Let's see what.
Look at that. Do you see who's on these cards?
Well, I see that one over there.
All right, let me
Nice,
get closer.
nice. Okay, yep,
Yep. So, talking Super Bowl, talking Patrick Mahomes,
yep.
talking Jalen Hurts.
Oh, that was Donovan McNabb, but it's okay. They
No,
made it. They
it's
needed to pull the spirit
Jalen
of
Hurts.
Donovan McNabb to win. I don't know. That's a side bet. Anyways,
Yeah, how many times will Donovan McNabb show up in the Super Bowl, right? So, well, let's talk Super Bowl, man.
let's do it,
Who you got, man, and why?
man. I'm telling you, Kansas City minus 1.5. I mean, it is a very. If I was a betting man, I'm kind of concerned about either team because I think either team could take it. It's going to be that close. 48 and a half points is what I saw from Vegas for the over under. I feel safer on that. I think the over of 48 and a half is what I would do with because I'm kind of scared to pick either team because Kansas City knows how to win. Philadelphia is scoring points like crazy. I think they're clicking as a team. So if I was betting on squares per se, where the score change every quarter, I'd love that. I'd be in on that. But I mean, as far as the team goes, I think Philadelphia takes this. Something in my mind tells me Philadelphia is going to come out on top of this because Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts and I think Devontae Smith hasn't been seen in like 2 days or 2 games. I mean, he is. I mean, he's going to be the money. He's going to be deep threat. I mean, I think Philadelphia takes it
Hmm.
straight
Uh,
up.
and again, this is just us speculating as talking shop or
Right.
not giving any legal advice on investments,
No,
betting.
we can't do that. Obviously.
But I think that this game will be close. I like your thought on taking the over. Um, and that spread, man. I think it's going to be tighter than 2.5. I think it's less than a field goal kind of game. It's
Yeah.
You know, defense will it'll start slow. I think that you'll have some explosive plays. Um, perhaps towards the end of the first quarter, start of the second. But second half, you're right. They'll probably be really going by then, both offenses. How do these defenses adjust at halftime? And then heading into the fourth quarter. That's going to be the concern. And uh, you know, the Chiefs, you mentioned that their coordinator has a way of making magic happen on defense. And
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, yeah, not to interrupt you, but I mean, like Spagnola found a way to neutralize Josh Allen. Who, I mean, okay, would you compare Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts to the same player? I would say Josh Allen's got more ability on doing different things and running the ball like when he wants to. But Spagnola found a way to neutralize Josh Allen. So can he do it with Jalen Hurts? I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see.
and so I think Andy Reid, he's gonna have a few tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah.
My heart wants to go with the Chiefs. My head agrees with you on the Eagles, but man, a first time three-peat team versus division rival. Go
Well,
with the former Dallas Texans, 27 to 26.
night the 1960 Dallas Texans are coming back.
Yes.
Oh,
If the Cowboys aren't relevant, well, at least we got the Texans, right?
I
That
mean,
wasn't Houston either. Dallas Texans.
but look, Kelly, let's talk about this. So the ability of a team to win three in a row or do something significant when it's the odds are not with them, it's very difficult. I mean, the NFL, I don't see a three-peat. I don't care if they paid a
It's never been
trademark
done
to.
in the
I
NFL Super
don't think
Bowl
they.
era.
I don't think they paid a
Pre
trademark to
Super
Pat
Bowl,
Riley. I don't care if they paid Pat Riley whatever percentage to do the three-peat. I mean, they've already like talked to him and want to put that on the shirts. I'm like, that is a bad juju right there. You shouldn't have done
yeah, yeah.
that.
I agree with
I
you on
don't
the
know.
bad juju part, but also, you know, as mentioned, it's never happened in the Super Bowl era, a three-peat.
Yeah, I
Now
don't see it
old
happening
school
again.
NFL pre-Super Bowl, even like the Cleveland Browns, once again relevant, right? Because under the old AAFL, and I think when they
Hmm.
came in the NFL, they had like 10 championships in a row.
Yeah.
So it's been done in football. Thank you, Browns, and also probably some of those earlier teams in the 1900s. But yeah, I Juju, but dude,
Well,
I
we're
can't,
talking about
I can't go for the Eagles, man.
we're
I'm
talking
gonna have
about
to
parity
take
level of like 32 teams to like 18 teams to like 10 teams to like okay. So
yeah.
you're one of the top best 8 teams. You won 10 years in a row. Great. Good for you. I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Well,
It's gonna. Let's put it this way: it's gonna be very entertaining, Kelly. I think we both agree on that.
between on-field action, commentary, and TV commercials and good
Yeah,
eats and all the other festivities, it should be a great game, great day. Just go ahead and see if you can get Monday declared a national holiday moving forward.
correct.
Get that
Yes.
executive order issued. That'd be great.
If you could work from 12 to 4 on Monday, that'd be great. That's awesome.
Well, dude, let's do a little show and tell, man.
Yeah.
I,
I've,
I showed off a couple of Super Bowl quarterbacks and their
yeah.
rings. I
I,
showed
I want to. I want to. I
Rodgers'
want to pull one of
birthday.
my cards here. Speaking of
Yeah,
football, speaking of great running backs, we talk about. I mean, Saquon Barkley is going to do well this Super Bowl. I think. I mean, he's a he's an incredible player. I mean, that's all you can say. But the guy that reminds me when I think of like Super Bowl player and Super Bowl running back, I think of this guy, Sweetness.
Oh,
I think
put
of
an SGC.
yeah, I think in the SEC, the background, of course, is perfect. I love it. But Walter Payton, let's put it this way: this guy, the '85 Super Bowl. I mean, he could have scored a touchdown, but apparently it was not to be because the refrigerator Perry ran in and got the touchdown instead in a blowout against the Patriots. But this guy, for some reason, this card, the '87 top set, has always like impressed me, and it just looks cool.
You
I mean,
like
look
the
at him.
design of the '87 Tops football?
Yeah, '87 top football is awesome.
Five,
It's
six,
great.
seven, nine. Yeah.
And I like that. I like 86, 85, 84, but 87 has something for me. So I got this card graded. It's a 9, and I was very pleased with that. And it's one of my PCs, so I love it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Another NFC piece, right? For you and your
Yeah.
Eagles. What else you got, man?
Man, I've got another one that's I want to talk to this guy about. So a lot of people don't know that, this guy was a batting champion for 6 years. I mean, he had 18 All-Star appearances out of 19 years he played in Major League Baseball. And probably many people have not even heard of him. He batted like 328 for his whole career. Hall of Famer, 1991, Mr. Rod Carew. Awesome. He's not gonna strike people as like, oh my God, who's Rod Carew? He was not a big home run hitter, but this guy was a 328 career average hitter. I mean, he won 5 batting titles in a row. I think from like 72 to like 77, something like that. It's pretty impressive. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, yeah. What year card is that?
It's a 73 tops.
All
And I
right.
like it because he's leaning over, and I had him sign it in person when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty cool. I
So is
mean,
in
I don't know.
saying you had a 73 tops Rod Carew card on you and he
Well,
signed.
well, I'll tell you what, Kelly. So one of the cool things is when you take these older cards to these old vets and the Hall of Famers, they're like going, wow. And a kid like he's 13 goes, hello, Mr. Carew. Can you sign this card for me? They go, wow. How do you have a 73 Tops set? A 73 Tops card, my friend.
It's older than
And,
you, kiddo.
and you're like 14 years old. He's like, of course I'll sign that. And he does it with earnest. He's like with grit. I was like, it's pretty cool. I love it.
Dude, that's greatness.
It's one of my PC cards. It'll never leave my collection. So
Well,
pretty
that, but
cool.
also I was gonna say with the Rod Carew, I mean, obviously 3,000 hit club,
Yes,
as,
absolutely.
as you
Yep.
mentioned, Hall of Famer, and maybe I'm speaking of a certain age group here, but apparently the hip hop group Beastie Boys reference Mr. Carew in one of their songs as well.
They did. Did you know that? Did you know that Rod Carew hit 388 in 1977?
Did not know that.
388. Now George Brett came close a little bit later, but not much. I mean, those two guys, George Brett, Rod Carew, were the closest people to ever come close to Ted Williams to scratch a 400 club.
Yeah,
I mean, pretty
on
amazing.
the cusp of it, pressed with yeah.
It's incredible. I mean, all these millennials out there, you guys need to learn. Go ahead and get a Rod Carew card. That's what I'm saying.
Get some mad hits, right?
Yeah, that's
Like
right.
Rod Carew.
Do some research, my friend. What about you, Kelly?
Well, got one in the mail. Been working on the set that kind of got me started in collecting to begin with. Based on a movie that came out in 1977, and so I got this in the mail
Was it
earlier this
North
week.
Dallas 40?
Star Wars.
Oh, even better.
This is what got me into cards to begin with because Star
Kelly, that
Wars
is sweet.
art, gum, and yeah, rip and wax, and so Star Wars, and so I'm trying to put together the complete set with the stickers. So now I'm only down to 2 last stickers. So hopefully I can knock that out over the next couple of weeks and be good to go. But it took forever to get this sticker, affordably priced, and within my budget. And yeah, man, old Mark Hamill here as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
Here,
24-year-old Mark Hamill. Awesome.
number one, yes. And so very very happy to acquire that piece.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Speaking of old timers, uh, my son and I, let me get this one ready for you. Um, my son and I, we watched this movie called It Ain't Over on Netflix about a year ago. Have you heard of this movie?
I have not. Educate us. I've not heard of it.
Well, it's a little documentary about this guy.
Ooh, Mr. Barra.
Yes, Yogi.
Yeah,
It Ain't Over. It's on
that's awesome.
Netflix. My son and I watched it.
Is that a 52 tops, Kelly?
60.
Oh, 60. Oh, that's
Yeah,
6. Oh, that's parallel. Okay, gotcha.
yeah. Now the interesting thing about 60 Tops is that it was the last year that Topps did a full run of all horizontal cards.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
And
Cool.
prior to that, the last time they had done that was in 1956.
Oh,
But man,
56. Okay.
but yeah, just the way like the design and the lettering and the fonts and the colors and it's classic. I really like this the layout of this 1960 tops.
That's were any specials like a blue back or anything like
They
that
had some
on those
white backs and gray backs, I believe.
on
Hey,
that set right there, or
yeah,
was that the 56?
no, no, it's similar, I guess,
Okay.
somehow, some way. But um, the thing about like this card set was issued in 7 series throughout its full run. So I can't imagine like how difficult it would have been trying to complete a set like that back in 1960. But someone took care of this one, and it's just a PSA 3, but it's affordable. And so my son and I were going to try to get the full run of Yogi Berra
Yeah,
playing
that's awesome.
cards. So every time we go to a card show together, we'll see if we can pick up one that's affordably priced and try to make that happen, for our journey together in this hobby.
Yeah, do you think, I mean, honestly, do you think anyone put together sets like in 1960 cards that were in 1961? They're like, okay, can I put together a 60s top set?
I think
But like kids, I mean, I don't think they did that. Do you think they tried to do that? I mean, maybe it was a different era.
I think a lot of them did. I just, you know, I think it was like the neighborhood kids. And so, I've read and heard several times over the years that
Like
like
some Brooklyn Dodger fans compared to Yankee fans, but I've got all the Yankees. I've got all the Dodgers.
definitely, but also football cards would come out in the fall. And so like when series 6 and 7 of the baseball cards were coming out from Topps, a lot of times, kids had moved on to football season.
Yeah, true.
So that's
Yep.
why it makes those high numbers like so desirable.
Yeah, that's a good fact. That's
Yeah.
good.
Now, I mean, this number 480 out of like 660 is not a high number, but it was probably a series 4 kind of card, and
Yeah.
by then it's tail end of summer or dog days of summer, and they're watching, listening to the game, maybe getting to watch it here and there on their black and white TV. So
Yeah.
yeah, Yogi Berra, man, he's most rings of anyone in baseball, so I think he's a good one to go after.
Does he have more rings than fingers or more fingers than rings?
I think it's a tie. I think
It's
it's
pretty close, isn't it?
I think it's 10 as a player and manager.
Yeah, as we have eight
It might be
fingers.
more.
Everyone, all the audience, eight fingers.
And two opposable thumbs, right?
That's right. That's correct. But they work in well, sometimes they do.
Was any of you watchers, viewers out there, if you know the straight up facts on Yogi Berra and the World Series titles, don't hesitate to leave us a comment or shoot us an email and give us a heads up, educate
You
us.
know, it gives some interesting facts about him. I mean, he's a legend. I mean, absolutely. And Rod Carew. Come on, we want to
Definitely.
hear about it.
Teach us, teach us.
That's right.
Well, we've been talking about like grading for a minute. You know,
Yes.
SGC cards, PSA cards. There's obviously the big three. You got PSA, SGC, some say BGS, maybe up and comer CGC, late BGS.
I'm still feeling BGS. I mean, I don't know for some reason for number three.
Well, Beckett, I mean, they're the namesake of the hobby, in many ways. But
Yeah.
um, they've had quite the fall from grace apparently, starting around 2015. And their troubles through COVID have compounded the issues. But and that's where like CGC is starting to make a name for themselves.
Now, it's the
More
history of
expensive than
CGC.
BGS.
Yeah, CGC's history is like comic books, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Okay.
That's more of their coins and comic books, but now they're
Okay.
getting into trading cards. Like was it the gaming cards, like your Pokemons and your Magic
Okay. Yes. That.
Gathering stuff? But
Okay.
if you can grade those cards, you can grade sports cards. So that's where they're starting to get some submissions as well.
Now, who do you see besides CGC that's making an impact?
The only other company that comes to mind is it's called Tag, TAG, Tag
Okay.
Grading.
Yes, I've heard of them.
And apparently they are just AI based and fully automated. And I guess you get the full report explaining like why your card received the grade it did and can pinpoint like whatever flaws in a report that's sent to you, the owner
Okay.
of the card. I've never physically held a TAG card, never seen one in person yet. I've just read online and heard, via podcasts and other YouTube videos about their service.
Yeah, it's interesting to think like so if you have a SGC like 6 and you give it to a tag, if you break the if you I mean, which is another conversation altogether, but if you break the
You crack it?
the mold itself, yeah, you just break it and you bring it to tag, are they going to grade it a 5 because it's AI generated? I mean, will it be more perfect? And maybe
Well, that's
a
the
hand.
argument.
Yeah,
You know,
it's interesting to think about that.
AI should be unbiased.
Correct. But
Humans, we have our biases and
there's still
nuances.
parameters that have to be programmed into the AI program, I
Mhm.
guess, is what I'm saying. So I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
can a computer tell you everything you need to know about like centering, edges, corners, surface, looking for flaws, defects, dimples, whatnot,
I think
front
surface
and
is
back? Better than
surface
a
is
human.
gray area. Surface is gray area for me. I don't know. So
And then what about overall eye appeal?
yeah,
Will AI be able to differentiate, distinguish like you or I could, humans?
no, I mean because I mean like Kelly, you're the same age I am. I mean like Rucker Hauer and Blade Runner could not do that. So I'm gonna say no.
Well, I mean, maybe that's something we should look, maybe try to acquire as I do have like BGS cards, SGC, PSA cards. I do
Great
not
idea.
have
You
THC and I do not have CGC, but
know
just
what we should do
labs and
for
compare and
another episode? We should take 5 87 tops Will Clark rookies and send them to all the different grading companies and have them come back and see what they say. I think this is a challenge. I'm in.
so the Will Clark challenge.
I'm in. I mean, it'd be great.
Well,
I mean,
first we have to find five like what we think would be near mint.
correct. I probably have 40. I have like 48 of them. I think.
And then let's just say that each one costs $25 to grade.
Yeah.
So,
It,
it's $125 investment. Something to
uh,
think about, man.
I think it'd be entertaining. I think our viewers would love that. I mean, I would. I'd be personally like interested to see what happens. It'd be
All right.
pretty. It'd be pretty neat.
Let's put on the docket. Maybe that's something we can approach in May or June. First you got to find them, dig them out, and
Yeah,
then you need to like physically inspect them, and then we'll present them
correct.
and send them off, man.
All right. Listen,
And then we'll have the Patrick Will Clark reveal show.
or the 87 tops, like the classic Bo Jackson in the outfield going like this. I mean, we can do that too. That's not
Card that. Now that is a card I'd like to get in a really high grade. That's a great
yeah.
card.
Yeah,
The colors
it's really
pop
nice.
on it, and it's
He's got his
Jackson, man.
glasses up, looking for the fly ball,
But
ready
it's
to throw
also
it.
kind of prophetic, though. How it said future stars on it, and
Yeah, it's exactly.
that would be cool, man. Let's find five of those, man. Because
Yeah,
I'm sure you wouldn't mind having one. I wouldn't mind having one, and maybe one of the loyal followers will acquire one somehow, some way.
if anyone has something to comment about that, I mean, you guys feel free. I mean, I think it's a great challenge. I'm in.
The
I'm
will
in. I accept the challenge.
Now we're gonna upgrade it to the Bo Jackson challenge, right?
Let's do the Bo Jackson challenge. It's much more interesting.
Bo knows cards. That'll be much better. All
Bo knows
right.
cards. That's
Bo
right.
knows cards. 1987 tops
I
baseball.
love it. That's
Dude,
good.
I'm all over that, man. Future stars. But getting back to grading though, I mean, you know, you've done a few with a couple of these grading companies. What do you like? What do you like and not like about the companies you've graded with?
I'm like very leaning towards SGC lately. I mean, I love the background. I mean, when I look at a card and I want to, if it's some of my PC collection and I want to keep it in my collection, I want to have it be like represented in a picture frame, to be honest. And if it's an older card, like the vintage cards, the SGC looks great. I'm not a big fan of PSA or CGC or anything like that. I just think that it doesn't represent well when I want to put it by my desk at work or in my office. So, I mean, I'm a fan of SGC overall.
So for the tuxedo look for the older cards,
Correct.
is it? Do you have?
I love the black background is awesome. I like that.
Do you? I mean, is there a certain year that you say, "Hey, this is kind of the cutoff I want for my tuxedo look"?
Uh, I've gotten 88s, 89s graded, and I think maybe 1990 my collection kind of stops a little bit at that point. So,
So you're saying like
um,
pre-90, you would be happy having them wear the SGC,
correct, correct. I would agree with you. Yeah,
and then
yeah, and I mean, like PSA, it seems to be more like a an asset. When people get something graded PSA, it's like, okay, well, here's my PSA. Great. All right. And it's a maybe it's a 1960 Willie McCovey. Okay, great. I send it in, and it just doesn't look the same. I like the black background on it. I don't know. That's my opinion.
PSA is definitely. I mean, they're reputable and they're the market leader for a reason. Um, yeah, apparently they have the highest return on value for high grade cards.
Okay.
Um, I guess certainly in the modern era. I think a lot of the classic cards are like your old Babe Ruth cards and Mickey Mantle cards, like the high dollar ones. Apparently are like slabbed in SGC products. So
I like that.
is SGC the way to go for vintage and PSA the way to go for modern, ultra modern? I don't think you can go wrong with PSA with an older card. And their fans will say, "Hey, yeah, definitely stick with PSA."
Now, Kelly, have you seen anything like differentiating in the pricing lately for PSA compared to SGC or anything like that?
PSA still for vintage gets a little bit more return. You know,
And would you say
if
vintage?
you took a PSA, going back to Roger here, if you took a PSA 7 versus an
Okay.
SGC 7, it might be like a $50 difference, maybe up
Okay.
to $100. But the disparity between the two isn't really that high.
So, as a collector of a PC card, like you and I have been,
Hmm.
and we get those things graded, I mean, it doesn't really make that much difference to me. So if it's less to get it graded, and the value comes back a little bit less, I mean, it's still a pretty cool card for a seven.
Oh
A
yeah, I mean
seven and a seven. Is it a 6.3 to a seven? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're
there are arguments on both sides, for each company,
yeah.
the pros and cons, and we could definitely get more to that with those two companies at a later date. Uh, I still, BGS, I'm still loyal to the name Beckett. I think again prominent. It's a name that's like a pillar in the hobby community as far as like
Right.
building the hobby in the 80s, 90s, early aughts. Like I said, they were bought out recently, but they've had their issues prior to that with a bit of a fall from grace.
No, I'll say so. I mean, what's your take? We talk about PSA, SGC, BGS. We know about BGS. I mean, like, I'm a big autograph guy.
Hmm.
So, I mean, if you think about one segment, let's just take autographs. PSA or BGS for autographs.
Um, Depends on is it if it's PC,
Okay.
I don't mind go with BGS. Um, if it's an investment kind of card with an investment kind of graph, um, and it's ultra modern cards, I'd probably go PSA.
Okay.
Anything like 86 and older, definitely, I don't mind going BGS.
Hey, what about the new kids on the block, CGC and Tag? I
I
mean,
don't know if
are those older cards or newer cards? I mean, what's your feel on that?
as far as autographs go or
No, 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 no. I mean, actually, overall on those.
overall.
Yeah,
Again, I'd like to try tag just to see what it's
I'm
about.
interested about Tag too. It's kind of interesting to me as well. I agree.
CGC. I'm just like you said, new kids on the block. I'm not familiar with their slabs yet, so I need to see one and compare it with the other slabs, and yeah, kind of make my determination based on that experience and seeing what it looks like and how it feels and how it presents.
Yeah,
Because again, at the end of the day, if I'm putting money into it, I want to be happy with my purchase.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah. So someone's presented a CGC like 90 for a George Brett rookie, and the SGC was like a 7. I'm like, do they value the same? I mean, it's interesting to talk about that. I have no idea.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, well, we'll have to, like I said, compare, contrast, keep coming back to this topic, as we keep doing more shows.
yeah, absolutely, I agree. I mean, there's a lot out there. So
Hmm. Well, the other things I was going to mention on the newsworthy fronts, BGS is definitely growing. Apparently, they've opened up an office in Europe.
nice.
So apparently, by doing so, they don't have to have like the longer wait times for the European customers, and maybe they don't have to spend as much on shipping fees and um, so maybe they'll get that market going. PSA in a similar move apparently is I think if I remember correctly, they're supposed to have a an office over in Europe as well. So
Really?
they are going neck and neck with trying to get the market share in Europe.
Wow, that's interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So
PSA also opened up or I guess they moved one of their Canadian offices to a different part of Canada, and same thing in Japan. I think they opened up an office over in that market as well to service the Asian
that's
marketplace.
pretty cool. In case you have a sumo card or a cricket card or something like that, it's valid.
Well, I mean, or a lot of those, with the Japanese born players coming to the Major League Baseball,
Right, right.
like, dude, those cards, you know, I think it's cool. What do they call them? Menko, Menko, Menko cards that are like from the 60s.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Japanese baseball players. I'd like to get one.
Sadahara O. Like, I mean, you get one of his cards graded. Wow.
It'd be cool.
Intense.
And I mean, that's why it's a hobby, man. Just kind of
Yeah.
doing what
It's
you like.
awesome.
And yeah, I'd like to get a
For
Sadahara
me, it's
card.
a PC for you and I think. I mean, it'd be very cool.
Definitely, definitely.
Next to my Otani 10 or something like that. I mean, it'd be just really cool.
Hmm.
And my Suzuki, and my Ichiro or something like that. It'd be awesome.
Well, SGC, are you aware of like the specials they've got going on right
Yeah, I heard about the 70s and 80s football, $12 a pop. So, I've got I'm a big football collector as well as far as baseball. So I've got, I'd love to get my Lynn Swan rookie and my, you know, John Jefferson, like in just some really cool cards from back in the day. Billy
now?
Sims, guys that I like, just graded by SGC, and for my PC, it'd be pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, as I say, man, they came out that special right after the Dallas card show for January. It's shown up.
Okay, cool.
So I submitted one football card at the show. I haven't got it back yet, but as soon as I do, I'll be happy to share with you that card. So I
Let's
missed
do
out
that
on the
next time.
special. So
Yeah, I've got a really mint Ozzie Newsome. I'd like to get submitted. I mean, it's crisp.
hmm.
You guys saw my Earl Campbell a couple weeks ago, but I mean, my Ozzie Newsome is like it's
Well,
nice.
yeah,
So
definitely, protect it, preserve it. Yeah, I was gonna say, as far as like next episode, we'll definitely know the results of like the Super Bowl winner.
yes,
We'll start talking, I guess, a little bit more about like baseball and heading into spring training. Um, yeah, I think we're kind of winding down. Is there anything else you want to add to the mix before we call it a night?
man. No, let's talk next time about maybe like just pulling some what new packs were ripped and like like new boxes and like what people are go like. I mean, what are the younger investors going out there for the market for? I mean, like, are they going after Panini Prism or Tops Heritage? I mean, I'd be interested to talk about that. Let's do that.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll see if we can get maybe a pulse on the hobby and what's going on with collectors these days, and talk about our recent experiences with Rip and Wax, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, again, for the faithful viewers and followers, give us a like, a thumbs up,
Yep.
subscribe, uh, questions, concerns, throw them out there in the comments or send us an email at info@blitzweekly.com.